All right, friends, it's T and I'm back with another video. It's on, guess who? JeremyEthier, man. The gym slave, the fitness slave, who's enslaved 6.11 million slaves, lifting slaves. All right, so I love this phony picture he put up of him being kind of smooth and fatty, and then this is him on the right. When in fact he's always well, this is kind of touched up too on the right. So this is fake, and these photos are both fake. Okay, it's kind of obvious they're fake. But hey, people believe this. They'll believe anything. You put it online, they'll believe anything. They think this is real. He went from 25% fat to 10% fat. He never did. Go back to his first video when he started his channel. He looks exactly the same, an ectomorph. He's never looked like this. But okay, it actually works. It actually phony. So the phony pictures, and it phonily actually works fakely too. Let's see this video.
80% of people who try end up failing. But there's 3 simple science-backed steps that have helped me and several others beat the odds and get leaner than ever.
Notice all these people are ectomorphs, and they got leaner because they stopped eating a herbivore diet, an unnatural diet. I don't know if you watched that video I put in my comment section. The one thing that guy said, go at us in his videos, and I've said this before too myself. I said that the laws of nature, when you break the laws of nature, then there's consequences. You pay the consequences. What are the breaking the laws? And what are one of the laws you break? Eating grass. I told you before. The cow eats the grass, you eat the cow. You can't eat the grass. But if you eat the grass, you're breaking the laws of nature, and you will pay a price for that. So all these people, what are they promoting? The laws of nature. He's telling you to eat something to get your body to come back. And I can tell you the easiest way, okay? It's carnivore diet, bro. Carnivore diet.
Before I show you the first step,
But again, he's showing you all ectomorph people that have broken the law and are going back to their normal bodily state.
Diet, let's quickly create a realistic timeline for you. Take a look at the following photos. Pick the one that best matches your current body. Now, to get to around 12% body fat with good ab definition, this is roughly how long it would take. Or to get a little less lean, around 15%, this is how long it would take. Now, this might be longer than you expected, but most people highly underestimate just how much fat they have to lose and how long it takes to do so. For example, in these 2 photos, I lost roughly 20 pounds.
Okay, oh man, that is so touched up, man. These photos are so touched up. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. This is augmented. These photos are augmented, okay?
In about 14 weeks. But I also followed the plan I'm about to share with you almost perfectly, which just isn't realistic for most people.
Of weeks.
So expect it to take longer than you think. But as long as you keep trying and trusting the process I'm about to share with you, you will succeed.
He always looks like this, the way he looks like now in his videos, exactly like that in his tank top, from when he first started and now.
Your diet is without it.
So now he's going to tell you your diet. So yeah, you can return by starving yourself too. Overfed and undernourished will get you there as well. Yeah, 2 ways you could get there. Overfed and undernourished, right? Starving, which is it's starvation, and a carnivore diet, which you don't have to starve yourself. You can get there. And a thermogenic effect, probably. Do some exercise.
Doubt what's going to drive most of your results. And it does this by forcing your body to use fat for energy. But this can only be done by creating a calorie deficit.
Not necessarily. You can eat fat to burn fat. Yeah.
Where you're eating fewer calories than your body needs every day. Now to find...
Okay, I like how he says eat fewer calories. So he's not talking about nutrient diet. He's talking about calories. So eat few calories. So now you're really underfed and undernourished. So you're starving. You're starving. Basically, I'll starve you and you'll lose this weight. This ugly, fat weight.
The right calorie deficit for your body, you can use a calculator we've made over at builtwithscience.com/calculator.
Yes, calculator.
For example, I personally just would not be able to walk past cookies at home every day and not end up eventually eating them.
Why would you eat cookies? They're not your natural diet. They're trashy. They're garbage. They destroy your body. You eat a cookie, you are what you eat. Eat a cookie, you'll become a cookie.
So set yourself up for success by throwing away your trigger
Pure garbage, pure unnatural foods,
and taking advantage of your laziness by placing your high-calorie snacks and treats in hard-to-reach places.
Those foods are all drugs because they're all piled with sugar in them. That's the addiction. You're addicted to the sugar. You're not really addicted. Here's the thing. None of you people are addicted to any of these foods. Like I was just having a conversation with somebody on my channel. They said that, Chinese food or whatever, they put a lot of sugar and a bunch of carbs in. There's carbs and sugar in there. Yeah, it's to addict you. It's to make you addicted to that food. They put sugar in everything. Think about it. They dump sugar in all these processed foods and everything. As much sugar as they can. And fruits and vegetables has lots of sugar. The only thing that does not have sugar is meat. Meat doesn't have any sugar. There's no sugar in it. Yeah, and there's no toxins in there either. Which plants are filled with toxins, poison, and sugar. So if you constantly are poisoning yourself every day and drugging yourself with sugar, what did you expect? So it's not the cookie you really are after, it's the sugar. It's an addiction, it's a drug. You're after the drugs.
This also applies to healthy snacks like nuts and granola. Anything you can easily overeat.
And you know what people look like on drugs? They look terrible, man. Oh.
It should be out of sight or hard to access. Also, pay attention to what you're doing when you eat. Some research has shown that one of the strongest predictors of being overweight was eating meals in front of the TV. So when you do eat, try to shut everything down and just be present.
Again, this is really easy to solve. Eat your natural diet and you won't have any of these problems in 2024.
But after fixing your food environment, what foods should you actually include in your diet? Well,
easy. Don't eat any food that is unnatural. That is against the law of nature, and you'll be fine. Get it, man?
Let's start with what seems to be the most powerful food for fat loss: protein. By providing your body with enough protein, you're protecting your muscles from...
No, you're providing your body with a high nutrient diet when you eat meat. That animal protein is filled with every single nutrient that you need. It's not deficient in any.
Being burned off for energy during the diet. This forces your body to burn off more of your fat instead. As per how much protein to eat.
Well, you pretty much want to eat a high animal fat, protein, nutrient diet, yeah.
Research typically shows the greatest benefit when protein...
People have done these diets where they eat fat, and they eat a lot of fat to lose fat, and they have.
...is increased.
Is that bad? No, because animal fat has a lot of nutrients in it, and vitamin D and a bunch of things, okay?
To about 0.8 grams per pound of your body weight per day. So if you weigh 180...
Look, animal fat is not deficient in nutrients, okay, man? I think people have the wrong conclusion. They see animal fat and they think it's fat. Or, look, that's just protein. No, they're nutrients. They're nutrients, okay?
Pounds, you'd aim to eat around 140 grams of protein per day. Now here's what 30 grams of protein actually looks like from high quality sources. Pick one of these to have with each of your meals and you should be able to hit your daily target. Now, in addition to protein, there's a handful of other foods that can have a powerful effect on your fat loss. Back in 1995, a team of researchers ranked 38 different foods based on how well they kept people full after a meal. Potatoes...
Again, all these foods, they're against the law of nature. You go against the law of nature and you put that food in your mouth, you're going to pay the consequences in the end. All of you are going to pay the consequences.
Oats, whole grains, lean proteins, apples, and oranges all ranked extremely well. Whereas higher processed foods like white rice, cereal, chips, candies, and pastries all ranked poorly. So what I'd suggest is 80% of the time, try to eat more of these highly filling, nutritious foods. Eat plenty of vegetables as well, since they'll fill you up for less calories. And then 20% of the time, allow yourself to eat treats and more processed foods that, although won't fill you up as much, will help you avoid an over...
Again, look at him. Don't eat 20% of your diet, eat this garbage. So you should eat this garbage still, right? Just only 20% of it. Wow, this guy is great. He's promoting great health, man. It's right up there with all the rest of them. JeremyEthier, you are a genius, bro.
Really restrictive mindset. And if you're wondering what this looks like as a full day of eating, it could be...
It looks like peasant food, man, to me. Garbage.
Something like protein pancakes for breakfast, salmon and potatoes for lunch, chicken and veggies for dinner, and Greek yogurt with fruit for dessert. All of this comes up to just 2,100 calories, and at the end of the video, I'll leave a link to this exact meal plan. So, incorporating what we've talked about so far should increase the odds that you're eating in a calorie deficit. But many people still end up eating...
You should not eat in a calorie deficit. What you should be eating is your natural diet, carnivore, high-fat diet. Yeah, and you'll be fine.
Too many calories despite following a healthy diet. So, as a final note for your diet, I'd highly recommend actually tracking your calories and seeing if.
Look at this, and he shows you a slice of bread. I mean, bread, what is that? It's garbage. It's made from seeds. It's made from a bunch of weird plants. It's fucking sand, ground up sand. And then they stick it together with glue, and then you eat it. It's nasty. Just sits in your stomach. Has no nutrient value whatsoever.
You're on target.
None of these foods he's showing you, there's zero nutrient values. That's why you're overfed and undernourished. That's why everybody's always starving, and that's why you're getting fat.
Even if it's just for a week, it'll help you at least be aware of whether you need to adjust anything. So we've got your diet covered, but what are the best exercises to help you get leaner? Luckily for us, a recent meta-analysis ranks several different fat.
What exercises do you need to get leaner? You don't need any. Your body would restore itself if you're on a high-fat carnivore diet. You don't even need exercise.
Alice protocols from most to least effective. A calorie deficit plus lifting weights was the most.
Of course, his channel wouldn't survive if he was to promote, well, just eat carnivore diet and everything would return to normal. He's got to make you do it very difficult. He's got to get you to be overfed and undernourished, or undernourished and, yeah, basically starving, undernourished, underfed and undernourished. Now it's underfed and undernourished. So starvation and doing these exercises, because that's what he promotes. He can't promote carnivore diet because his channel wouldn't survive.
Effective method.
Nobody would want to go to a gym and lift weights if everybody looked good, because people look really good on their natural diet. When they don't defy the laws of nature and they eat their natural diet, their bodies will look amazingly pretty. They'll look good, pretty, handsome. Man, you'll look amazing. But if you go against the law of nature, you're asking for trouble. You're gonna look like shit, and then you gotta rely on this guy. His channel he's geared towards you.
Now, the reason lifting weights is great for fat loss is similar to why eating more protein helps with fat loss.
That's why he has customers. They create the problem, the industry, and then they create a solution to the problem. God do exercise, God do this diet, whatever. Yeah, man.
Lifting weights tells your body to keep your muscle and burn fat for energy instead.
It does that? It tells it to keep the muscle and burn this as energy? I don't know. It's an adaptation process. Keep the muscle. What if you're on a carnivore diet? You think you're going to lose your muscle? No.
So use your diet to do the hard work of creating most of your calorie deficit, but lift weights 3 to 5 times per week to make sure you're losing fat, not muscle. But this doesn't mean you hit the gym and then sloth around the rest of the day.
Why are people, they're crying, they're losing muscle, this and that? Why are they losing muscle? What are they doing? They're doing things that are against nature. They're working slaves, and then they're exercise slaves, fitness slaves, and then they're eating slaves, because you're eating the slave diet, and then you're working at a slave job, chasing slave money, and then going to the slave store, buying your slave food. All to think about that when you put it together, try to understand exactly what the hell you're doing there, man. Get it? In nature, I mean, in the natural world, you would never be working any physical, stressful job. You wouldn't be working a slave job, but you would be going out once in a while and hunting, very meticulously hunting. You wouldn't exhaust yourself, and then you'd get an animal and you would eat it, and then you would relax a lot and enjoy nature and procreate and enjoy life. But in the unnatural world, you're constantly stressed, overfed, undernourished, or undernourished, underfed. You know what I mean? Chasing all these weird things. So yeah, it's very unnatural, the lifestyle you live here in the zoo called the city.
Why people fail to get lean during a diet is because they subconsciously get lazier and reduce the number of steps they take as they get leaner and leaner.
No, they're not getting lazier. They want to return to their roots. They don't want to be stressed. It's not laziness. They're trying to avoid stress. The body is actually trying to avoid the stress. That's why you're laying there, because it's kind of it's a symbiotic relationship you have. You live in this body and it's keeping you alive, so it wants to keep you alive and it wants to avoid stress. And you say, well, I'm lazy, but you're not like necessarily lazy, because your body is pretty much doing these things. It's an instinctual thing.
To avoid this, start tracking your daily steps.
So avoid being stressed. You need to stress yourself more. Start tracking your steps. Start stepping. Start doing all these things to stress the shit out of yourself. These crazy diets and crazy things, and walk a lot and go exercise.
Try to build up to at least 7,000 steps per day and keep that
Wow, 7,000 steps a day. So work up to 7,000 so you can accelerate aging. Yes, great. That's even better. And stress your body, yes.
consistent throughout your diet.
Yes, this is great.
Apply everything we went through so far.
Consistency in stressing yourself and doing all these weird things, when all you have to do is go back to your natural diet. That's it.
You should be able to lose about 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week.
Yeah.
Single day can get overwhelming, but there's 3
Yes, tricks and all that.
consistency hacks that I've found make people far more likely to stick it through and succeed. The first is what I like to call the power of 60%. One study compared
Oh, the power of 60%, bro.
those who track their calories at least 60% of the time.
Track your calories. Do you think you need to track your calories if you're on your natural diet? No. It's a high nutrient diet.
Those who track less than 30% instead of aiming for perfection, just aim to hit your goals at least 60% of the time. And if you look at this on a weekly basis,
Yes, hit your goals 60% of the time. You need all these goals, man. You need all these goals because you're living an unnatural life. So there's a lot of goals to be conquering now.
that's just 4 or 5 tasks.
Create the problem, then create the goals.
The same is true with dieting. You more flexibility with your food
It's funny how humans operate. They create the problem, then they got to create the goals. Yeah.
choices and can help you recharge both mentally and physically before your next diet. No change in their belly, they assume it's not working and they quit.
I love people that when they say, well, I feel good when I go to the gym and I work out. It's because you feel bad because you're eating on a natural diet. That's why you feel like shit. You got to go to the gym. And then they go, oh, I feel better after a workout. Well, you feel better after a workout because you've kind of circulated, trying to force this crappy food out of your system. That's why you feel better, a little bit better, relieved that you've circulated it, this slave diet out of your system. But then you put it back in there, you go, I feel like shit, I gotta go back and exercise now again. It's like you feel better. But when you're on a carnivore diet, you feel good all the time. You don't even want to go exercise. I'm not joking, bro. Look, when I return back to my natural diet, pure carnivore diet, I don't want to go to the gym at all anymore. The only time I want to go there is to activate the satellite cell. That's about it. So I can get more of these cells. That's it. So I can wear out senescence and a bunch of other things, myogenic decline. But I probably don't even need to do that. I don't know. Really, it's hard to say. But I do like doing it once in a while. It doesn't make me feel good. Definitely not. Maybe when I was younger, I don't know. But no, definitely not older. And especially on a carnivore diet, I have to force myself to go to a gym. I don't want to go there anymore because I just look way better on a carnivore diet now. My looks and my body and everything restored itself because the whole thing when I was experimenting with these stupid plant foods and shit, they destroyed me. Yeah, that's defying the law of nature. That's what happens to you.
But your body saves the best for last. Usually,
Look, there's man's laws. You can break him. There's consequences. But man, you break nature's laws. They're definite laws. They're indefinite, bro. There's consequences right there, like real consequences.
your body will start by losing fat around your chest, shoulders, arms, back, and even your face.
See, look, you'll be losing all that garbage food that you were eating. It'll go away and your body will restore itself back to homeostasis, its natural state.
Once it's lost enough fat from those areas, will start to make its way down to your upper stomach area, and then finally your lower back.
Look, they restored themselves, these ectomorphs, instead of eating grass all day.
Belly fat. Unfortunately, there's no way to specifically target these areas. The real secret.
Does he tell you how to maintain this after you lose all this weight, eating all these cookies and shit and whatever, because you've reduced them? Does he tell you how to maintain it now?
Secret is just sticking it out for longer.
Do you have to starve yourself now on all this low calorie diet now the whole time? Is that it? You think that's sustainable? Ask yourself this question. Now that you starved yourself to lose weight, do you think starving yourself the rest of your life is sustainable? No. This is crazy.
Here's an example from one of our Built with Science members, Jesse, who stuck to his plan for a year. Notice how there's not much difference in his belly in the first 3 months. Month 8, however, is when you can really start to see.
Ooh, month 8, he really saw something. Ooh, yeah, because he's starving himself slowly. He's been starving himself over what is it? Month 8 or something? I don't know, 10, 12 months. It took him 12 months. So he's in a slow starvation. Okay, diet. Okay.
Some big changes in his belly.
The question is this: how long will he maintain this starvation diet?
Now, this wasn't from him changing anything. It was from him simply trusting the process and sticking to the plan. Here's another example.
Yeah, he trusts the process of starvation. He stuck to the plan, and that's what the result. Yes, okay.
Archie, who ran our program for 10 months. His face, chest, and
so after he ran the program for 10 months, what does he look like now after 10 months, after he finished the program? Did he go back to looking like that in the beginning?
Shoulders were all the first areas to improve. But just imagine if he quit after month 4 because he wasn't
You think he's gonna stay like that?
seeing much progress in his belly fat. Here's another one from Tamara, after just 8 months of simply sticking to the plan.
Notice these are all ectomorphs. They got into trouble by eating a herbivore diet.
Remember, you have a lot more fat to lose than you think. So
Yeah.
until you get lean enough to notice your belly fat coming off, be proud of the fat loss progress you've made in your face, arms,
Yes, be proud, yes.
chest, and shoulders. Just don't quit right before the going gets good. And if you want a science-based, step-by-step plan that guides you
Yes, don't quit before the going gets good, broski.
every single week, just like we did with Jesse, Archie, Tamara, and Dylan, just head over to builtwithscience.com and take our quiz to find the best plan for you and your body. I hope you enjoyed this one. You can give this video a watch next.
You gotta love this stuff. It's amazing, man. This guy is crazy. I'll see you in the next one. Tell what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. This is unnatural expectations in weight loss. It's unsustainable, man. By starving yourself is unsustainable. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.